What made you keep and allowed you to keep coming back?
Yeah, well, maybe I'll start at the very beginning
Yeah.
because you did mention fire and the fact that the book is called Aflame. So, quite a few years ago, I was in my family home in the hills of California, and I went upstairs and I saw we were encircled by 70-foot flames. It was the worst fire in Californian history at that time, and it had broken out just up the road. And by the end of that evening, I'd lost not only my house, but every last thing in it. And so, for many months thereafter, I and my mother were sleeping in a friend's house, and I was sleeping on the friend's floor as we slowly reconstructed our lives. And at one point, another friend came in, and he saw me there. He was a school teacher, and every spring he took his students up to this quiet retreat house in Big Sur, California. And he said, even the most phone addicted, fidgety, agitated 15-year-old Californian boys only had to spend 3 days in silence, and something calmed down and cleared out, just as you were saying in your introduction, to the point where many of these kids never wanted to go back home again. And I thought anything that works for a 15-year-old kid is probably ideal for me. And my friends stressed, if nothing else, I'd have a bed to sleep in, a large desk, a private walled garden looking out over the Pacific Ocean, meals, showers, all for $30 a day. So I thought, what's to lose? And I mean, your connection with Stanford, Big Sur already is one of the most unworldly, powerful places on earth. Somehow the calendar falls away, the pressures of the outside world disappear as you're on that 60-mile stretch of coastline, and you're brought to something very essential, I think, and elemental. And also, of course, and this is, of course, so close to where many of your listeners are in around Palo Alto, high redwoods, tall cliffs, the vast expanse of the ocean, and suddenly the human being is very tiny, which I think is a useful thing to remember when sometimes we think we're the center of the world, as maybe I think sometimes. And the one other thing maybe I'll say in this context is that this turns out to be a Benedictine monastery, and I'm not even a Christian. And I was so touched that these monks were opening their hearts and opening their doors to anybody, whatever your background, whatever your lack of background. They were confident you would find what you needed just by walking above the radiant ocean and being quiet for a while. So there are no rules there. It's not a guided retreat. You can do anything, or you can do nothing for 3 days, or you can just take walks or read. If you want, you can consult them for counsel, but otherwise, I don't do that, and I don't go to the services. But still, it's a rare trip I've taken where every time pretty much I come back home, I'm refreshed, I'm calmer, I'm a better version of myself.